Hey peeps, what's going on? Ryan White for High Point Music, and today we are going to be breaking down Smooth Sailing by Leon Bridges. So really cool tune, super good feel, nice and laid back. I love listening to this track. What we're going to do, the approach we're going to take with it is we're going to obviously look at the guitar part, the rhythm part, which is quite basic in nature. However, we are going to incorporate some of the really nice lines that are going on with some sax, some lead guitar parts. And we're going to try and incorporate that into the, as well as the vocal parts as well. What am I thinking? Leaving that bit out. Just to give you people another layer. So I really like putting those extra things onto our regular traditional guitar parts because I think it cuts off too much the edges in terms of, it makes guitar a little bit cookie cutter. Because I think there's so many nice musical parts in this track that we can start breaking down and getting under our fingers and increasing our overall musicality with it. So as per usual people, before we get into the video, if you want to support us, hit that subscribe button, support links are below, requests, leave a comment on the page, or if you want my help one-on-one, those links are below. Okay, so how are we going to be breaking this one down? We're going to be breaking it into a few sections. We've got the intro, and which we're going to incorporate some sax lines and the guitar parts. The pre-chorus, we're going to be having a look at the vocal melody, some really nice phrasing going on there. Some really nice stabs coming up in the chorus section with some dominant seventh chords, and then there's some really cool little bluesy solo parts that we're going to put at the end of the lesson once we get all the key core fundamentals down under our fingers. So if you're just looking for that bit, fast forward to the end of the tutorial, and we're going to put all of those just back to back there. Cool. All right, so introduction, let's start breaking it down people. Alright, cool. So from the sax perspective, we're going to be using some stacked fourths. I'll demo the part. So 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 1, 2. Okay, so we're going to try and imitate that sax line, the dynamic flow of the instrument as best we can. Alright, so sliding up the first bit, we've got our first finger on the 4th fret and the 5th fret on the B string, okay? So we're sliding from the 2nd and 4th, sorry, the 2nd and the 3rd, I should say, from the G and the B, and we're sliding up to the 4th and the 5th. So that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. And all we're doing for the next part, people, dropping that back to where we slid from. So 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. And then really simple there, what we're doing is open B and E, okay, just in a 4th like that. And again, that nice little bluesy slide. All right, from the 2nd into the 3rd. Let's put it all together, pay attention to the rhythms, listen out to my count on this one, and let's get it together. So 2, 3, 4, we'll slow it down. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. I'll run it again. 2, 3, 4, a little bit quicker. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. 3, 4, 1, 2. Alright, last time people, if you get a look at it, here we go. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Then what happens, people, is we've just got this really smooth chord progression, okay? So using just basic chords, E major and A major. So we've got our E major right here, okay, like that. Chord shapes up on the screen, and then our A major there, depending which way you like to play it. Just go with whatever's comfortable for you. Alright, cool. So, let's start breaking down what's going on. I'll demo the nice little flow and rhythm we got. It's 2, 3, 4. Okay, so really traditional bread and butter rhythm guitar part. Let's start breaking it down. So, make your E major chord to start with. Let's put our attention on what's going on over here, the right hand. So we've got E string, step 1, A string is step 2, okay? So 1, 2. And then for step number 3, we're hitting that E major like that, okay? So 1, 2, 3. So pay attention to the rhythm. I'm picking these and strumming the chord. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, just like that, people. Okay. Step number 4, a little bit of a trick with our left hand. So we're relaxing the pressure on our left hand and just getting our fingers in the transition of the next chord. Okay, so excuse me. So step number 4, we go 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're just getting our fingers in the moment of transition to that A major. So we're relaxing the pressure, letting our fingers go and moving in. I'll slow it down and just transition between the parts, because what we're doing on the E major here transitions to the A, but all we're doing is we're just hitting the A string and the D string as our single strings that we're picking, and then the chord. Alright people, so let's persist. So 3, 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you see how on the 4th bit, I'm relaxing the chord shape. Well, not relaxing, I'm getting it out of the way, I'm getting ready to transition to the next shape. So it might sound a bit weird at this tempo, but as we speed it up, okay, so that's how you can get that feel working for you in the track. Really important on step 3, when we're hitting that chord strum, lock that in with the snare drum. That's rhythm guitar 101. So just lock in with the snare drum. So putting that accent on it, and you can hear how the progression's got so much more groove, like that. So you've heard those old school rock and roll guitar parts like. Yep, just banging on the snare, same deal here. Beat 3, or the third part of our strumming pattern, put that on the snare and you're gonna have a really nice moving, flowing groove, or smooth, to no pun intended. Okay people, so we've got the we've got the sax line, we've got the verse chord progression under our hands now. Let's start putting the pre-chorus vocals together, which is, I'll demo it and then we'll split it up into its parts and its phrases and get it under your fingers. 2, 3, 4. Now, don't get scared off, there's a lot of notes there, but we're going to break it down, make it easy, step by step, and you're going to have this sounding really, really good. So, the first little bit, people, we're starting off with a hammer-on onto our D string here, so onto the 2nd fret. Okay, so open, hammering on. Next step, people, is our G string below, and we're trying to connect that as a single phrase, so So as that speeds up, as you get more confident with it, it's going to sound cooler. Alright, cool. Next bit. We go to our 2nd fret on the G string there, the A note, and we're hitting that twice. So hammer on G, 2 times on the 2nd fret there. Like that. Cut the note short. What's happening next, people, is my 3rd finger's dropping down to the D string, and when doing that same similar 4th that we used in the introduction, sliding up, so. So just loop it up like that, nice and steady, get the hang of those parts and transitioning from the single notes, okay, into your 4ths, but with the actual part itself, we only go, we do it twice. Okay, so that's step 1 out of the way. Step 2. That's the part we're going to start breaking down now, so using an open G string, two notes on the A, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4th note is back to the open G, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Pretty straightforward. Next bit we're adding to that. So we're incorporating that hammer on, the open G string, 2nd fret, 4th fret, back to the 2nd. We'll slow that down again, so hammer on, G, 2nd, 4th, 2nd, open. Alright, let's put that together. So 1, 2, 3, 4, hammer on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Cool, alright, this next little bit's probably the trickiest little part of the phrase. But let's jump in, split it up and get it working for you people. So, alright, let's start breaking that down. So, hammer on, onto that open on the D string, to open to a 2nd. So very similar to the phrase we just finished on, hammer on, O, 2, 4, 2. But when we get to that 2nd fret on the A there, we do a pull off back to the G. Okay, hammer on. So very similar to that last phrase, we're just incorporating a pull off there. Hammer on, open, 2nd, 4th, pull off. Alright, next little bit we're going. So hammer on up, and then we've got a bit of a slurred passage there, so it sounds cool. We'll break it down. So hammer on up to your 4th fret, and then a hammer on and off again. So hammer on, off, and then pull off after that. So on, hammer on and off, and then pull off in one movement. Finish on our 2nd fret there. Alright, nice and steady piece. Let's break this one. Let's continue to detail it as we go. So, pull off, hammer on, okay, pull off first bit, hammer on, and then we get that slur going. Da, 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 da. Hammer on, do, 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 do. Okay, that being the most complex phrase, just take your time and just put that together. Get those passages nice and slow, steady, under your fingers, understand it first and foremost. Very, very important there, peeps. Cool, the last phrase, very, very simple. Let's finish it off. Okay, so we've got that hammer on at the start, just like that. Open G, up to our 4th, and then a pull off. One, two, three, hammer on. 1, 2, 3, and then a pull off to wrap it together, or to round it out, I should say, rather, on the 2nd fret there. Alright, cool. What we're going to do, I'm going to give you one last pass, or a few passes I should say, doing it nice and steady so you can see the whole thing in context, see how it fits together, and see the sequences that we're going to be stepping through to get this phrase, or this group of phrases, under our fingers. Alright, cool. 2, 3, I'll start off slow. Alright, let's keep it going. So next bit. more time, people, just to give you a really good look. 2, 3, a bit quicker. Cool, so the next bit we are at, people, is the chorus section. We've just got some really nice stabs using some dominant 7th chords. We're not going to use the full chord voicing because I think we are going for that stabby feel to fit in with the track. So the part we're going to be using, I'll demo the parts and then show you the voicings I've come up with. So 2, 3, 4. And A7. Back to B7. Okay, so really straightforward. We are just taking a dominant 7th voicing. We've got B7 and A7, but we're just starting it from the 7th, getting the 7th, 3rd and the 5th of the chord. So I just lay my first finger flat for these type of chord shapes, and on the 7th fret, covering the D, the G and the B string, and then we've got our 2nd finger coming in there on the D sharp. Okay, what we're doing, very important here, we're getting that, we want that stab feel. We don't want the notes to linger around too long. So what we're doing, nice short, if you're picking it, I like to hybrid pick, that's just me personally, but we'll watch the left hand, peeps, and see how I'm just releasing the pressure on the chord shape. You can see that subtle, you're releasing the strings off the fretboard. And it gives you that really nice punchy, percussive use of the voicing. And that's one of the reasons why I went for this chord shape, because if you're using the full voicing, you can hybrid pick it and you get the bass in there. So it's like, if you were singing the song on your own, that would be perfectly, that'd be a good use of it. The reason why I went for the shorter one, just because in the track, they've got the horns just doing those little stabs. So there's not a heap of notes there. There's probably just a couple of, or they're obviously voicing the chord, but there's probably only 2. They're probably only playing the 3rd and the 7th or something, just like that. So I've just added the 5th in there just because we're guitar players. We can put a bunch of notes on our shapes. So yeah, use your, depending on your context, whether you're playing on with the track, I'd go with the shorter, smaller voicings. If you're doing it where you're just singing the song or performing it yourself, you can drop that, put the bass on top, use a bit of hybrid picking or strumming, whatever fits the context best. I'll let you people decide that one. Alright, so the first solo break we've got for this one, people, we're using a digital pattern. So there's a rhythmic use of our way through the digital pattern. We're going to split it up into groups of 3. Okay, so that's going to make it the easiest, I think, to put the point or put the phrase across to you people. So let's start looking at our first 3 notes. So 1, 2, 3. We're going to 5th fret on the B, 3rd fret on the B, 4th fret on the G. So 1, 2, 3. First lot of 3. Next bit, we go back to our 3rd fret on the B, 4th fret on the G, 2nd fret on the G. That's our second group of 3. So, third group of 3, people, our 3rd finger drops back on the G. Alright, and then we go to the 2nd fret on the G string there. So 1, 2, 3, second group, 3rd group, and we're finishing up there with the 3rd one on our 5th fret on the G string. Oh, no, it's G, we're on the D string. Alright, so recap that. So 1, 2, 3, 3rd fret, 4th fret, 2nd on the G string, 4th fret, 2nd, 5th fret on the D string there. After we've got those 9 notes, we just go 2nd fret on the G, and then to the 5th fret on the D string, like that. Let's put that together. So 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 1, 2. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And here out for the accent on after I go 1, 2, 3, the first note of the next sequence, I'm accenting that, playing it a little louder. So 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 4, 2. Da da ba da 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 ba da da. And then we're going 2nd fret to the 4th fret. Da da. So sliding from the 3rd to the 5th. 5th again, and then you're getting that 2 consecutive slides from the 2nd fret to the 3rd fret. So if you want to put some percussive hits, like add a little bit of punch to your phrase, you can do that as well. So 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, da da boom boom boom. Alright, cool people. So second half of this phrase, we've got a variation on what we've got. So the first bit part is very similar. We've got 1, 2, 3, but this is where things start to change. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then our rhythmic accent changes. So 1, 2, 3. Second, 4th, then we've got our 5th fret on the D, and then back to there. So da da boom boom. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, ba bum boom boom. Da 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 boom 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 boom. Okay, so the next phrase, starting off from our open G string. Listen to the rhythm. So it's 0, 2, 3. So 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 3rd fret on the B, 5th fret, and then we're just putting 2 notes on the 5th fret there on the B string. You could put some chromatic slides in, approaching from the semitone below. Would sound pretty cool, I think so. Nice and bluesy, fits the track really well. Let's put that together. So second half. Those phrases on all those chromatic approaches there. Alright, so that brings us to the next little solo break. This one's on guitar. Let's jump in, demo the part, break it down. This one's going to be a bit simpler. 2, 3, 4. Cool, pretty bluesy, pretty straightforward. A few little chromatic notes thrown in there. Let's put it together. So starting off with 2 little slides you can put in on the 3rd fret. Okay, or like that on our E string. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So 5th fret, 3rd, 5th. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. There's a 1. So just repeating that little bit there. Moving forward through the phrase. So 1. Then we go one more time, 5th fret to the 3rd, and then we change string and position slightly to go 4th fret to the 2nd. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Last one here, peeps. Alright, cool, we're going to start putting this next part of the phrase together. We go from the 2nd fret on the G string to your 5th fret on the D. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 2nd fret, 5th fret, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 2nd, then we go 5th fret, 2nd fret, and then finish it off, we just go open D, and then hit that back onto the same note we just had our finger on, back on the D string there, 2nd fret. Alright, so 1, one more time, 5th fret, 2nd, open, 2nd. Let's put that together slowly, give it a bit of context. Repeat it, speed it up a little bit. So a little bit quicker last time. So alright, Pete, so that brings us to the last phrase we're going to start breaking down. We're just about there in the home stretch. So here's the phrase, we're going to play it and then we're going to break it down. So pretty raucous bend there. Alright, cool, so there's some nice rhythms going on here, so I like this type of phrasing. So that's our first bit we got there. So we're starting with our 3rd finger, or first finger, sorry, on the 3rd fret. Forgive me, I am under the weather a little bit today, so alright, so we're hammering on 3rd fret to the 5th, and then our first finger's dropping to the 3rd fret on the E string. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 is back there. 2, 3. 2, 3. 2, 3. So nice use of the hammer on there. What's going on the 2nd time through there? Let's check it out. So all we're doing, very, very similar, but we're just ending the phrase differently. So instead of resolving back to our E there on the 5th fret, on the B string, we're putting a slide from the 5th fret up to the 7th fret on the E string there. So 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. So I'll put the 2 together. 2, 3, and again, and once more. Okay, peeps, so after we've put those 2 phrases together, we're just simply throwing in a bend. Okay, so wrapping this one up, we're going to do one last pass on it, and then you can see it all in context. So 2, 3, 4. 2, 3. 2, 3, and again. 2, 3. Here we go, the bend. 2, 3, last one, peeps. 2, 3, and the bend. So, if you would like to make a request for any content, leave that in the comments section. If you'd like to support us, hit that subscribe button. That means a lot to us people. It's good to see the channel growing, moving in the right direction. There's a real cool community vibe popping up on the channel, so it's great to hear from you people and put together tutorials. This one's been a lot of fun, even though I've been feeling a bit shitty, to be honest, but it's all good. We're putting together tutorials and getting some cool stuff happening. Great song, check it out, check out the tutorial. I'll see you all in the next video. Until then.